Okay, Thor Pirate Software's view on Star Citizen exploitative consumer practices. Uh-oh, how dare they be a corporation? How dare they try and make revenue to make the game complete? How dare them?
That's nuts. So we were talking the other day about Star Citizen, and people wanted to know my take on Star Citizen, and I don't like it, and the reason why is because of this.
You mean like every other game in the entirety of the game development world? Like what fucking, I hate that they're trying to make money. Like, okay, yes, some are really egregious, right? And I know what this guy's going to do. I know already what this guy's going to do. He's going to go to the whale page and he's going to see like the thousands and thousands of dollars of ships. Haven't seen it. Thank you for linking this. Our fans here on DG360, they're called the algorithm. They're amazing. They find things that we all watch together. Okay. This dude's going to say, oh, they're exploiting the fan base and everything. But like, I have one thing to say about this. You've got so many people that are buying this because they have the discretionary income to do so. Not everyone is broke ass like myself and can only afford, up to $100 package. Like there are a lot of people out there with tons of discretionary income. And if they want to spend that money, that is their right to do so. Not everybody is an addict or addicted and has a problem where they can't stop spending money. There's a percentage of people out there like that. Okay. I will acknowledge that. I get that. Okay, but it is such a small percentage and it is over accentuated by content creators that everybody that spends that money must be some type of crazy addict that can't stop spending. That is such a small percentage of the people that are buying those packages. The people that are buying the most expensive packages for this game have tons of discretionary income, period. But okay, let's keep going.
Because the game feels more like a storefront than a game. But I didn't know something about this. How many of you guys have spent over $1,000 on Star Citizen? And it's okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to berate you. You can spend your money whatever way you want. Because
okay,
someone has sent me an image, and I'd like to know if we can...
I appreciate that. That's very rational. Like, that's balanced. I like that he said that. I like that he's not chastising people for spending that kind of money. But let's keep going.
Verify that this exists. You have? Do you have access to another page in the store that no one else has access to?
The whale page.
Because I was sent this.
Welcome.
That shows another page on the store that has up to $15,000 in packages on that.
They have more than that. And the thing is this. We're going to talk about this later today. Do you know that there's a game out there called Star Atlas and that they sold 4 Titan-sized ships, each one denominated at $5 million, and that they all were bought and probably will be the new way that games will be funded, Web3 gaming? Do you know that? People spent $5 million on that, probably for an investment. They think they can double it, right? Very rarely do I think it's for actual people that are going to play it and like to buy the ship for that. I mean, who is going to spend that kind of money? You've got to have serious amounts of money to do anything like that. And you got to be expecting some ROI on that, return on investment. That's why I think that's happening in the Web3 world, period. But do you know that they have sold 4 $5 million ships, which makes this look like nothing? I'm not saying that justifies the amount of money that they're selling these for, but hey, this is a game that's being funded by OnlyFans. Not the OnlyFans page, but fans. Is Star Citizen on OnlyFans yet? It is, Pepe? Oh my God.
So they have yes, the answer is yes, you do have access to that. So they have a secondary store that they try to give to people that have already given $1,000. So there's a store within a store. It's a whale page, yes. Yeah. This is why I won't be playing Star Citizen.
That is so fucking stupid. It is like that. Like, I'm protesting it because they're trying to make money and fund their game. That is like, well, I am like, does it make me kind of sick to see that? Yeah, because I can't afford that shit because I'm a broke ass. Okay, that's how it offends me. But when it comes to actual game dev and knowing that the money is actually going to be used to pay people who are in the real world working on the game and supporting the company over the 1,000 people that work for Cloud Imperium, it doesn't upset me. That doesn't upset me. So the fact that I know that the money's going to go to real people that work at a real office environment around the world does not upset me, right? That doesn't upset me. It upsets me that I can't afford this shit.
It is not because the game doesn't have promise, because it does. It's because of this.
Right, fingers.
This is gross, dude. It's gross to me.
It is hard to disagree with a man who has this quality of voice, like this very baritone quality. He sounds like he's right. Right, fingers? A gentleman that is very fluent and has great word choice, unlike me. Nobody's watching me for that. This man sounds like he's right. I sound like I'm wrong. I get that. I get that totally.
To me, it's not about greed. It's gross. To me, this is predatory. And it's something that I don't want to see in our industry. So
Isn't capitalism predatory? I love capitalism. I'd much rather have it than socialism. I'd much rather have the ability to have my energy and what I do, benefit me. In a capitalist society, that's what you can do, because you can be an individual in that society, and based upon your own merit and your own skills and your value, you can make money as an individual in that format. You can't really do that in a socialist format. Okay? Like what I feel like this version of what he's talking, his dialogue right now, is just like kind of like a socialist thing. I know some people can look at or listen to me right now and think that what I'm saying sounds very corpo. I get that. I'm just saying this, particularly being Star Citizen funded by fans, those people, and the way that it is being pushed as an independent movement and what they've done to bring in money was revolutionary back in 2012. Like the way they started this, not a lot of other people were doing, and not any were successful. So there is some accomplishment in that. There is some accomplishment in what Chris Roberts has done. I know he gets thrown under the bus all the time. Chris gets thrown under the bus all the time. He's squandering the money, blah, 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 blah. You know what Chris did? He employed 1,000 people and is paying over 1,000 people a paycheck. He is affording people a means in which they can live. Is that a bad thing?
It makes me not want to engage. There's a page that doesn't unlock until you spend 10K. And anybody who's, please don't tell me you've done that. Don't tell me there's a 10K page. Jesus Christ. That's so rough. That's so rough. Is the 10K page on Google? I don't know. The idea of a VIP store really bothers me, though. This really, really bothers me. Because I can't verify this is real. I'm not going to give them $1,000 to find out, right? But if some of you out there have paid $1,000 and you do see this page, and you can send me more proof of this, that really bothers the shit out of me. That really bothers the shit out of me. That's 100% real. I'll deem it to you, Thor. Kronos, you've got it. Have reviewed and provided feedback. Thank you. It looks like it's up on IGN as well. Star Citizen introducing a $48,000 ship bundle, but only players who have already spent $10,000. Dude, I can't get behind this. I can't. I cannot do this. Developer Cloud Imperium Games is releasing a ship bundle for its controversial space simulator that costs an eye-watering $48,000. Star Citizen's Chairman's Club, one which requires spending...
They wouldn't bother selling it if they wouldn't sell it, but they do. They sell it. Like, to a lot of people, including myself, it does sound absurd. Like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. Like, who would buy that? You know who would buy it? The person that buys it. And guess what? There are people that buy it. Most, again, have that level of income. They have that discretionary income. Why would you cut off your nose to spite your face if you're a business trying to grow and create like a game that, frankly, when I hear this type of talk, I understand where it's coming from. I understand that side. I understand it can seem gross looking at those prices. But, when you're speaking as a business, as a business trying to create a game that I frankly don't think this gentleman or many other do understand the scope of this game. Like, when I hear talk like this, I don't think people understand how much fucking money it takes to get a game that is an everything game produced. Do you think $600 million is a lot of fucking money in game development to create an everything game? You know how much money Grand Theft Auto it took to build Grand Theft Auto by a AAA publisher? You know how much money? Billions. It makes what Star Citizen is rated look like a drop in the bucket. How do you think a company that has over 1,000 employees in 5 locations is going to create an everything game, which is 10 times as large, at the very least, almost infinitely larger than Grand Theft Auto? When you put it in terms like that and you try to understand the scale that Star Citizen is trying to accomplish and what they're trying to do, $600 million isn't a lot of money. I know it sounds crazy. It's like when I look at the world, it's like when I look at America's national debt at like 33 trillion and climbing. And it's not a number I can really conceptualize, right? Boy, America, you really fucked up. I can't even afford the interest payments now. They're using interest to pay interest. It's phenomenal fucking game. Anyway, look at that, people. Let's look at that. You're talking about $600 million. I know this is crazy to say. It's a drop in the fucking bucket. For what this game wants to become, it's a drop in the bucket.
At least $10,000 on other in-game items to achieve. Jesus Christ, dude. This is why I said it feels more like a storefront than it does a game. It's not good. That is not good. Like, Jesus, dude. This is so far down the route of anti-video game to me that I know that there are some of you that may love this game, that may love it for what it could be.
Dude, anti-video game. This is so far down the route of anti-video game. Is this guy in this year? Is this guy currently in 2024? Is he living in 2024? Does he not see what's going on? Like, every game out there has predatory fucking sales practices, man. Most of them much worse than Star Citizens.
But as a game developer, that shit is awful to me. That is really, really awful to me. And I cannot possibly get behind that, dude. I just can't. As a player and as a dev, I look at that and I just go, no, I don't want that to be a thing.
That's fine. Listen. That's fine. That's why you're an indie game dev, right? But try and make a game, dude, and not do something that you know, you're trying to get money from people to complete your game. If he's a game dev, he's got to figure out a way to market himself. Maybe he can find a way to market himself so to him it doesn't feel predatory. But don't be fooled. He's a game dev. He needs money to finish his game. Like, I don't understand exactly. Never mind.
I don't want that to be a thing at all. What is this? Tools, list of ship packages. So you can actually pull it from starcitizen.tools. Let's go look. Oh my shit. Oh my shit. How far does this go? It's not even the top one? Does it keep going? Yeah, dude, I can't do that. This is stupid. There's a level of stupid that's in this that's starting to get like, because
the level of stupid that brought them $600 million. They must be so fucking stupid. Oh, it's not working. Oh, that's 600 million. That like you understand how hard it is to bring in 600 million from a fan base? From just fans. Like, they didn't go out anywhere to get money from other publishers. They're literally getting it from their fan base. What other game has collected $600 million directly from their fan base? You name one. How is it dumb? It's a successful model.
Because what ends up happening in terms of player behavior at this point is you start getting this idea where somebody will buy into this and then they rapidly have to defend not the game, but the idea of their purchase being valuable. And they'll have to defend that against...
That is way too deep and philosophical. They don't have to defend shit. It's a game. If they want to buy it, they bought it. And hopefully it's one that they can fly. Personally, I tell you, get one you can fly in game. There are many out there that you cannot. That is a valid criticism that I have. But hey, their ship development team is limited. John Crew needs more people, for real. But to me, his argument's senseless.
Other people that don't agree, and it becomes an emotional fight over, I spent all this money, so I feel emotionally invested in this. And that's the thing that's rough, right? You're so wrong about this? What about this am I wrong about? What is it that I'm wrong about?
You don't have to be emotionally invested at all. You can go outside and touch some grass. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to spend anything. You can spend the minimal amount if you want and never spend it again. You can only spend like $50 if you want. You can spend $50 and you can play this in its tested form, which is already better than most games out there. Yeah, it's glitchy and buggy. Yeah. But there's a lot of things in the game that keep people playing the game. To me, playing with other people, that's my favorite part. It's a classic sandbox MMO vibe. You're playing it with other people, the best experience in the world. If you're going solo, yeah, there's some issues, okay? But when you start playing with other people in your org, you're fighting other people, man, that gives me the old school sandbox MMO vibes, and you can do that for $50. You don't have to spend any more money. He's making people victims, man. He's making people victims. He thinks you're too fucking stupid. He thinks you're going to spend another $1,000 that you're a victim. He's making you a victim. He's making you senseless and stupid.
Like, tell me, because this bothers me. This preys on a person in a way that I think is very bad for our industry. I think it is very bad for our industry. I don't think it's.
I would normally agree with that, except I don't believe it's investment. I think it's a pledge. I think that you're just buying what it is to play the game. I get where you're going with that. Daff says he is kind of right about this part. He's talking about the people that already paid and will argue their investment over logic. First off, the reason I think that's flawed, Digit, is because when I got into this, I read that this was a pledge, that there's no investment involved. Emotionally, yes, you do get invested. You are right about that, Digit. You are right about that. Emotionally, you do get invested. Look at me, for God's sake. I'm ridiculous.
Stupid. But I think it preys on people in a way where they get emotionally invested in a cost, and then they have to defend that in a way that ends up causing strife.
But the point is that people can cut it off. They don't have to spend more than they're willing to spend. So what essentially he's saying is that you're all victims, that you can't control your spending, which is false. Every ship that I've bought in the game, I've had that discretionary income, and I said, okay, I can do this. I know that by doing so, it will give better probability for the game that I want to come out and be finished and finalized. Simple as that. I know that the money I pledged will go to the people that work at Cloud Imperium.
Right for them, right? It's not a good thing. It's fine to have microtransactions. I don't think it's fine to have a microtransaction that's basically a down payment on a house. I just don't think it is. I think that goes into the world of
here's the thing. For the people buying those packages, it's like $100. For the people buying those like $10,000+ packages, it's like $100 to them. I think that's what this guy is missing here. This guy thinks that like people that are spending that kind of money, like, he's talking about like the 2% of people that have serious addiction issues and problems. He's talking about those people. I understand those people are out there, but it's such a small, infinitesimally small fraction of people that go beyond their means and they have an addiction and they have a problem. It's such a small fraction of the customer base.
Egregious, frankly. $42,000 is a 10% down payment on a $420,000 house. Like, that's some crazy shit, dude. That's some crazy shit. Yeah, it's not a microtransaction anymore. It's a mega transaction. It's like 4 or 5 cars, right? Yeah.
And that's how many cars they have parked in their garage. and their Teslas and Ferraris, and they have the money to do it. They have the money to do it.
It bothers the shit out of me. And you may say that I'm wrong about this.
I think it bothers the shit out of him for the same reason it bothers the shit out of me. I don't have that kind of money. I think that's really the issue. I think really the issue is to see that level of money on a digital product and you're thinking to yourself, fuck, I don't have that money. I think that's what the real problem is here. That's what the real problem is. I think it takes a level of rationality to step back from the situation and look at it for what it is. You know?
But dude, this is a feeling thing. This is not a fact thing. This feels gross to me. And you have to understand somebody who's not invested in...
Listen, I understand where it's coming from. But frankly, this whole thing's giving me salad vibes.
Warning, incoming salad vibes.
Yep. gotta go to the next thing because I think I've explained my side. And no offense against this guy, you know, especially since he sounds right about everything with his amazing voice. I would listen to this dude and mostly agree with him, even if he was wrong, because that voice, I mean, this voice sounds wrong all the time. Ask Chrissy. It's hard being me. It's hard being me, man.